You get to move to the big
Yeah, cool out, man, so, they seem to save the cool parts of very well, so. Not sure if I understand that, yeah, I don't know, I sure don't know, man. So,
Yeah, they're
pretty crazy.
We are broadcasting.
All right.
No, I didn't. No, the White Nights of Great June weekend. And the kids wanted to go on opening night, so I took a break. And I didn't want to do the 8 o'clock one because too late by the time you get back.
Should be a pretty good meeting.
That was pretty good.
About nine.
I'm scary.
All right, at 6 o'clock, we'll stand for the pledge. The pledge of
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a reminder to silence your cell phones, and we'll start with roll call.
Mayor Sherman? Here. Councilor Horton? Councilor Clint Cameron?
here.
Councilor Lundstrom?
Here.
Councilor Scalise? Councilor Spradlin? Councilor Terry?
Here.
All right, we've got a quorum. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or corrections on the agenda tonight? If not, I would look for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting December 8th of 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilor Clint Cameron?
Yes.
Councilor Scalise?
Yes.
Councilor Terry?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. Approval of the minutes. We've got the minutes of our regular meeting from November 24th and also our special meeting November 24th. Does anybody see any corrections that need to be made on either of those?
I move we approve the minutes for the regular meeting on November 24th and the special meeting on November 24th.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Scalise?
Yes.
Councilor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilor Terry?
Yes.
Councilor Clint Cameron?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. Citizen comments. I don't think we have anybody here for citizen comments. So we will move on to management. First we have a public hearing for ordinance number 91725. I will go ahead and open the public hearing and we'll start with the staff report from Miranda.
This ordinance is necessary in order to make changes to our code regarding cemetery, some updates that we're making. There's also a resolution that will be updates to our rules and regulations, but this ordinance is just specifically for our code. We're making just a few minor changes. The first is to increase the amount of time between burials on the same day. Right now it's 1 hour, which is just not enough time, so we're just adding another half an hour. And then we want to allow service animals in our cemetery. The way it's written right now is that no animals are allowed. And so we do want to make sure that that is permissible. And then the last thing is that we're removing some confusing language about the permissions that can be granted by the city for family spaces. Pretty cut and dry.
All right, do we have any members of the public to make any testimony on this? Does not look like it. So council deliberations, does anybody have any questions or anything to discuss? Any questions for Miranda? We've talked about some of this already before, so I think we are all on the same page. So I would look for a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 917-25.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor Tyree?
Yes.
Councilor Clint Cameron?
Yes.
Councilor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Councilor Scalise?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, so now we can get a motion to approve on second reading this ordinance.
Oh, I move we approve on second reading ordinance number 917-25, an ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 4 of the Brush Municipal Code regarding cemetery regulations.
I second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
I might not have heard it, but we got a second on that?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, Larry seconded that one. Yep.
Thank you, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
That turned up on me. Can I see that for just a second, please? It was not. There we go.
Okay. Maybe,
Thank you.
maybe that'll help. There we go. Okay, so that motion passes. So now we have another public hearing for ordinance 918-25. So I will go ahead and open this public hearing, and we have a staff report from Tyler Purvis.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. So this is for a host of code changes. The last time this was presented a month ago, Monty went over those. And these are the ones that council had discussed thoroughly in work session. We vetted it out, went through Dan, and so a good sweeping change. As always, the code is a very much living document, so as things will continue to uncover, we will continue to come back if we think that they need changes based on council feedback and the community feedback. But this one is a big one. That's my very generic staff report.
Well, and we've got it all in our packet, so we've had a chance to look through it, and you've gone over it all with us in work sessions and stuff. So we're all aware. Did we have anybody from the public to comment? It does not look like it. So, doesn't council have any questions or any discussion items? Nope. All right, so I will look for a motion to close this public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 918-25.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, so that passes. So now we need a motion to approve on second reading this ordinance. Would you like to make that motion?
We'll move to approve on second reading ordinance number 918-25, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Brush, Colorado, amending certain provisions of the municipal code.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, that motion passes. Next, we have resolution number 2025-14. We've got Chris Bostron. Give us a report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For your consideration tonight, there are actually several resolutions to adopt our 2026 budget. Resolution 2025-14 is the resolution to adopt the 2026 budget. All public sessions and requirements have been met. September 22nd, the department heads presented their line item requests. On October 13th, the city administrator presented a proposed budget. On October 27th, the department heads presented their capital requests. And then on November 12th, the budget retreat was held and the budget was reviewed. That's what I have for you in regards to 25-14.
Does anybody have any questions for Chris? I would look for a motion to approve this resolution.
Move to approve resolution number 2025-14 to the 2026 adopt budget.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Hearing on the eighth.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. Let me just ask you.
That's right.
Oh, we didn't do that.
There appears to be a typo, Chris.
I probably
in
should
this
have, I was catching it as we were
Oh,
guessing.
okay.
resolution that says that a public hearing was held on December 8th.
It
So
was,
we'll because this
Oh,
isn't truly the
yes.
public hearing
Correct,
tonight.
correct.
I missed that, I
Okay.
apologize, so we'll
Okay.
get that corrected.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
sure.
Mhm.
So just make it, amend that
Yes.
and then approve with that amendment.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
All right, and then the next one.
And just at this time, I would like to report on our highway users tax. Our estimated revenue for 2025 is $155,000. Our budgeted revenue for 2026 has been set at $70,000. We will encounter a steep dip in this intergovernmental revenue for 2026. The decline can be attributed to the state's decline in fuel tax revenue due to a combination of increasing fuel efficiency vehicles, and then also due to the increasing acceleration and adoption of electric vehicles. So we're not seeing that fuel tax coming in as used to. Also, there has been recent state legislation that has impacted the availability of funding as well. So just want to make you aware of that. The funds received will continue to be used for the street maintenance and the improvements as designated. We don't need any action on this, I just needed to make you aware of it and to meet the annual requirements for reporting on our highway user tax. Next is Resolution 2025-15. That is the resolution to appropriate the sums of money from the various funds in the amount of $35,986,694 for the 2026 budget.
Anybody like to make a motion on that one?
Move we approve resolution number 2025-15 appropriating sums of money to the various funds and spending agencies in the amounts and for the purposes as set forth for the city of Brush, Colorado for the 2026 budget year.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Clint Cameron?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. All right.
Our final resolution is resolution number 2025-16. This resolution is to set our mill levy for 2026. Our mill has not changed. It remains at 15.66 mills. The only change is the levy upon our property tax revenue for the coming year to help satisfy our general operating expenses for the 2026 budget. That's what I have for you this evening.
I do have a question on that real quick. You said the resolution 2025-16 in our packet says 2026. I just want to make sure we have that corrected.
That's 25.
I must have been asleep when I put this in.
Me too.
That was a lot of pages.
Yeah. On the documents.
All right. Maybe I'd like to make a motion on this one?
I move we approve resolution 2025-16 levying general property taxes for the year 2026 to help defray the costs of government for the city of Brush, Colorado for the 2026 budget year.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Clint Cameron?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. Motion passes. All right, thank you, Chris. All right, we have another resolution, 2025-17. You're on this one too? Looks like.
We had talked about the rules and regulations for the cemetery in the second meeting of September. We're not making a lot of changes, but some of the changes that we're making are kind of big. So the fee schedule hasn't been updated in more than a decade. And so the fees are being increased to now keep pace with the operating costs and those increases over the years. And then we have some more specific requirements for the timing of scheduling for burials. And then we've updated requirements for columbarium engraving. And we are now providing accommodations for adding a cremation burial, or a section of cremation burial plots on the north edge of the North Cemetery.
Anybody have any questions? Look for motion on this one.
I make a motion to approve the resolution number 2025-17, a resolution amending rules and regulations and the fee schedule of the Brush Memorial Cemetery.
Okay.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer,
Yes.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, that motion passes. All right, we'll go on to finance.
Move we approve disbursements and payroll for November 25th, 2025 through December 8th, 2025, and totaling $430,029.74.
Okay.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Scalise,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, the motion passes. Staff reports, we'll start with Tyler Purvis.
All right, just a couple of things this evening. Foremost, today, some of our stakeholders representing the different taxing districts met with 3 representatives from the Just Transition Office from the state of Colorado. I mentioned this briefly in my staff report at the last meeting, but this is tied to the ongoing process of the conversion of the XL power plant from electrical generation, coal-fired generation, to natural gas, which should be going to effect a little bit after January 1st. From MCEDC today, January 1st was the deadline, but they said it might be delayed a couple of days, not a big factor. But the big reason for the discussion today was tied to trying to understand the true financial impacts when that change happens, and then the future assessments on those changes. A lot of our taxing districts rely heavily on the revenues that come in for that. And so although the answers aren't totally clear yet, because we're still relying on information that's yet to come from Excel, it's just an ongoing education curve on all the different dynamics involved with that process and who we should have involved with that process. But today was a very productive meeting, I think, on just everybody represented on our side with the brush area, getting their heads wrapped around what to expect and how to position ourselves going forward. So it'll come back to council again and again, just on updates in the process overall. We won't see the true impacts on a financial level until 2027, because they'll be basing the 2026 assessments on those payouts. But that's still a ways out, and if there's any gap, there's funds that are supposed to be set aside for that, but it's on our side with everybody in the brush area to determine exactly how we want to utilize those funds. And so that's a very high level discussion I'm talking about now. We could dive into the weeds if you want. That's kind of the general overview. I'll open it up for any questions on that, if there's anybody who has anything specific.
Do they have any projections? Like, is there any idea whatsoever what the impact is going to be?
The original general one is a 33% reduction, but the math on how they came up with that is it's not really known at this point. But they put aside money to pay out that difference over the course of 6 years. But if it ends up being less than that, then that payout. So the goal is whatever has been paying out with a 2% increase every year, that there's money available for that to make up that increase. Other communities around the state have been faced with the same situation, and they've done it in different ways. So over in Moffett County, those funds that are put aside, instead of just repaying the taxing districts, kind of a payment in lieu of taxes, they have set the fund up different ways, where it goes through the county, and they have an economic development fund set up that's meant to take those funds and reinvest them. So you're not just covering your costs for the next however many years, 6 years or so, but trying to utilize that to bring more investment in, so that way you can really capitalize on it and hopefully get more than what you had originally or what you might have had. So more of a strategic effort. Pueblo County, they went the opposite route, where they just are putting the money out directly to the taxing districts with no, as we understand it, no reinvestment. So we'll have more of those discussions in the future with all the taxing districts in the county on what we think collectively the best route to go forward would be.
Thanks.
Yep. Some other updates. We joined the city of Fort Morgan earlier this year with the local planning capacity grant, the same grant that we got to plan out the conceptual area next to the golf course for housing. And so we joined with Fort Morgan at no cost to us on a just regional housing. If you have been paying attention, Morgan County has been really taking a dive in on helping address housing across the county. They received a grant to bring a consultant in, and then part of the whole planning concept is a regional or countywide housing needs assessment. The City of Brush had one done about a year and a half ago, and so based on some new requirements from the state, there was a couple pieces that were missing on that. So we can actually kind of check that box in doing this regional one, because we're allowed to do it as a smaller community. So it'll be a little bit more updated, and then it also put together kind of an overall housing plan around the community. So there'll be some community outreach for that, looking for people's perspectives. If you've been a part of it, you know the housing conversations have been ongoing for a very, very long time. So a lot of familiar questions, but just updated information, which is kind of the process necessary to get access to different funds and resources that are available. So the grant application, I think, went out last week, I want to say, and we'll find out here soon. If we get that, Fort Morgan, again, is a fiscal agent, any matching funds they're covering, so we just support that on the Brush side. A couple smaller local things. So we had the Morgan County Makers Market, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, on Small Business Saturday. I went out to that. It was a very nippy night, but there was people there, there was vendors there, and some our local businesses, restaurants downtown looked like they had more business than maybe they normally would be. I don't know. I didn't follow up with them specifically, but good to see some action happening downtown. They're going to be doing that again on the 17th on a Wednesday from 4 to 8 as a Yuletide festival, so a Christmas theme one. Maybe it'll be snow. I don't know. Maybe the weather will be the same, or it's frigid, or it'll be beautiful. Who knows? But encouraging the community to come out and support that. And then thanks to the Chamber for Friday night having the tree lighting ceremony with reindeer, fire pits, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So that was great. The mayor was there. She counted it down, and as always, there was a delay when the lights came on. 3, 2, 1.
You always gotta crush fingers.
And then they come on. Your heart stops for a little bit. So, so thank you to the Chamber for the community for supporting those events and continuing to do so. That's all we got.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right, Chief Flecksteiner.
Good evening, everyone. So I keep asking for snow and we don't get it, so it's probably my fault we're not getting snow yet. Just a few things staffing wise. So Brianna Dotson finished her academy this last Friday, so I think she's taking a little time off before she jumps into FTO, but she should be back in soon. My continuous bragging about being fully staffed has finally bit me. We did lose Damian Aguilar to Greeley Police Department. Today was his last day, so we did lose him. Just to kind of give an update now on how we are staffing wise, with Damian now being gone, it still puts us at 2 short. We've had a continued effort of needing more investigators because of just the higher calls that we're getting and the higher cases that we're having. And patrol has had a difficult time managing those higher caseloads. So we're looking at transitioning one of our patrol positions to an investigator position in 2026. Initially, it was a case of the investigator will jump right into investigations, but with losing Damian, that investigator will probably end up covering a little bit of calls until we can get some stuff started. I have talked to Kim about starting a new hiring process now, so sounds like we already have 2 applications, so hopefully we can get some lateral positions filled in pretty quickly and not be shorthanded as much. So, but in 2026, as of right now, we're at 12 out of 14 total sworn staff. We're down 1 patrol position / investigations position down, and then 1 sergeant position. So I don't like being short-staffed, but we're still sitting better than we have in years past, so that's still a positive thing for me. And then just some bigger things. Obviously, I posted on Facebook, we had a pretty decent case that Jen Price and Takaya Dabs Quick has been doing for the last close to a year, so they finally got enough information to be able to pursue charges on that. So we're glad that that case is kind of getting to the point where the DAs have it in their hand, because it was pretty, I would say, taxing on them to get it done, but it was very concerning for both communities between us and Fort Morgan, what was going on with it. Another couple of big things, we've got the Giving Tree delivery coming up this Saturday that we'll be helping out with, like we usually do. And then Blue Santa delivering we'll be doing on Tuesday the 16th now. I talked to Fort Morgan Police Department, who are kind of like the ones that primarily started it, and we have 20-some addresses in Brush to deliver, so we'll be helping get those delivered on Tuesday as well. I talked to the superintendent for the school district, and it sounds like they did get a BDA in BCS, in the secondary campus, so I'm going to specifically go to the school on Thursday, do a walk around with radios and see if that kind of helps some of the radio issues we've had in that school. So hopefully we won't have any more radio problems in the secondary campus. And then finally, on Friday, I'm having my first initial sit-down meeting with Morgan County's emergency manager, the schools, as well as Ray, just to discuss some tornado shelter stuff that we need to do in town. So I know it's something that everybody's been asking pretty consistently on, so hopefully we can all come together and kind of piece together some logistics and have at least an idea or a plan set in stone. The Morgan County Emergency Manager, Robert Dahl, did say that Sterling does have something in place on their end of things, so we might take some information that they've already put in place to see if we can get some folks covered next summer when weather starts to go south for everybody. That's kind of it in the world of policing. If anybody has any questions or concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Fire Chief Ray York.
Good evening, everybody. So we'll be assisting on Saturday with the handing out of gifts we do every year. The contract was signed on the Timberwolf, so deliveries expected to be in the March along with the tower. And then we have our first annual awards ceremony this Saturday.
What time is that at?
6.
Is there gonna be an email that comes out about that? Miranda, I'm assuming?
Yes.
I can
If you
send
wouldn't
you
mind
the,
giving me the details, I
Yep.
can share that.
Thank you.
I'll send you the invitation, so. Other than that, anybody has any questions? That's all I have.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Chris Ostrin.
Good evening once again. Just a couple of items to share with you. We are down one staff member in our front office, so we're looking at to fill an accounts payable position here shortly. And also to let you know that Monday, December 22nd, the final bills for 2025 will be available here at City Hall for final review. Just want to let you know that as well. Okay? Anything else?
I do have a question for you. So going back earlier when you were talking about the fuel tax stuff, and you said, because of the EVs and stuff like that, you're not getting as much. So I do know having an EV in Colorado, I had to pay like another $600 to get plates and all that stuff. So are we not getting that money? Is that going somewhere else, or how are they handing out that extra fees that you have to pay?
It all depends on the appropriation of that revenue, because the way the highway user tax funds work, first and foremost, off the top, comes the money that goes to the Department of Public Safety, goes to the Department of Revenue, and then also goes to CDOT. Then from there, it has gone down to the counties and then down to the municipalities. We're on the very tail end of receiving that funding. So if the appropriations off the top, if the funding coming in is not meeting what is necessary for the appropriations, then of course they're going to take more to cover the Department of Public Safety, Department of Revenue. They're going to get the greater amount of funding, and that's what we're seeing from this, is that revenue not coming in, that fuel tax revenue not coming in, isn't meeting what is necessary for the off-the-top appropriations. But that trickle-down effect that happens, unfortunately.
Sure.
Yeah, we're on the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just,
Sure.
it just, when I had to pay that, I was just like, well, I
Yeah,
thought that
where
money. So
Yeah.
I just wanted
That
to
was a
see.
very good explanation.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully, we'll probably see this for 26 and 27. Hopefully beyond 27, we might see that start to increase back up again, but it all is dependent on funding and there again, the state budget as well. So we'll just continue to monitor it and watch it.
Are there any sales taxes on, like, if they charge it?
So no, so like if I go to the Tesla station to charge, I don't pay any tax. So if I put
Right.
$35 a charge on there, it's just a straight up
It's just
$35. So I don't know if that's something that can come down the pipe, down the road. I know you can't charge tax on gas.
Right.
But I don't know how you'd figure that out. But yeah, no, we don't pay any type of sales tax on
I
it.
mean, there's an excise tax that we pay on the fuel, and of course that is, part of it as well. But if you're not selling the fuel, you're not gaining the revenue from it as well. And there again, with our vehicles being so much more efficient than they've ever been, we don't need to go to the gas station as often either. So there again, that does affect it all. But yeah, usually it's just, you think about it, it's always off the top funding. That appropriation is getting to be more, and the revenue's not coming in to support it. Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Clarifying.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Kim Dix, HR, nothing for HR. Miranda?
Just a couple reminders. I don't need to tell you about the fire department awards. We'll get that email out. The museum Christmas party is this Friday, the 12th at 6 p.m. at the museum. It's open to the public. Everyone is welcome. There's going to be a chili supper, dessert. If you want to participate in the White Elephant gift, that is optional. And then on December 22nd, that's our next regular meeting. But with that being the week of Christmas, we typically cancel that meeting so that everyone can travel or do what they need to for their holiday arrangements. Right now, we don't see a need for a special meeting. Do you, Monty?
Not right now.
Okay. But if that changes, we'll reach out to everybody and coordinate what would work best. And then the next regular meeting will be January 12th when we swear in our 2 new council members. And so tonight is the last full regular meeting for councilors Klinkhammer and Lindstrom.
Don't look so sad.
Should have been enough positive. That's all I have to report.
Okay. Dan Krob, our city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight in person, but I'm working on a couple of things with Monty, Loranda, and then I wanted to tell you guys, Chris is doing a really good job and really been on top of stuff too. I don't have anything specifically to report, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
No, nothing.
Nobody has any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. All right, Monty.
Okay, just a few items. Lance asked me to pass along some information to the council and for the community. First, the resolution run, December 31st at 10 p.m. That's at the golf course, and it's roughly a 5K around the golf course. But that's when they do their run, is at 10 p.m., but there's also going to be games throughout the day, and then also Greg Mullen's going to be playing there from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, the Heath Becker Memorial Basketball Tournament, that's coming up January 3rd and 4th. Last year they had over 30 teams, so they expect another large turnout. They're also putting up the backstops at the Prairie Trails baseball field, the new fields that we have south of town. And the islands over by Central School and Library, they continue to work on those. They've got one of those filled with the mulch, and they've done some concrete work there. They're just going to continue on with that as long as the weather holds out. And then the Brush Cemetery will host the Wreaths Across America December 13th. The truck came through today, saw the escort from the fire department. I guess a few fire departments were there, and then law enforcement. But they went through town, and they said, you're going to get some notice. And then it was like bam, we hear all the sirens going, so everyone was running out of City Hall. So it was kind of entertaining. But that's happening on the 13th. And then also Lance is going to start the advertising for a part-time museum curator, and he's hoping that they can get started by the 1st of February. So that's from his department. Also, one of those priorities that we had was marketing the Brush Agri Park, so we do want to here shortly start working on that direction. I'm not sure if you put that RFP out, but offhand, how many days before they have to respond?
I think it's until the end of next week, if I remember right.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to get a real estate agent on board or someone in the marketing realm to help us market the Brush Agri Park. And along those lines, Tyler and I met and talked about it quite a bit, along with Del Colrick, and I went and visited with Kirk Lowry at the bank, Farmer State Bank and Farmers Realty, and just let them know that right now the best opportunity for us to really develop Brush Agri Park is now. You know, with all the engineering already completed and everything out there, that's probably the best route to go in working with CPW. So we're going to go that direction, and I had a good discussion with Kirk, and we also talked about we're not going to stop the discussions about Hospital Road. We can still work together on how can we swap property or make it more marketable for everyone. So we're going to continue those, but I told him we'd probably start that the first quarter of this upcoming year. Other thing, prairie dogs, there's been some discussions about prairie dogs on the north side of town, and Patrick Heisler is working with property owners in the school district, and he has preliminary quotes on how much it would cost to try to remove some of those prairie dogs. So we're working on that now, and our role is not to do it all, but to help get all the property owners together to work together, because if you don't, if one person does not work on this, then the prairie dogs just come back. So we want to work together jointly with them. And I think we already mentioned the fire truck, the lease purchase on that, and that's about it.
Do you have any questions for Monty? All right, thank you, Monty. Mayor and council reports. Do any councilors have anything to report or share?
I do, so it'll be my last day here. 2018, I didn't consider doing this. Never even came across my radar. I was unfortunate like most people and said, I think they got it taken care of down there. They don't need me. But in 2018, we had kind of a turd for a council member who was acting up, so they recalled him. I got on that recall. For 2 years, I couldn't go to CML because of COVID or whatever, and finally I got the chance to go to CML. And it kind of blew my mind because I was sitting in these classes and stuff with all these other counselors and people from across the state, and they would just complain and talk about all these problems they had, and I didn't understand because I just, this is not something we faced here. And then it dawned on me, the reason I didn't understand is because the city council in Brush is very spoiled. We have a staff that's second to none. You guys do such a wonderful job. So, appreciate you, it's been wonderful. See, I'm going to start crying for you, that's weird. But thank you so much for being done. Miranda, thanks for your patience. Not punch me in the face, I know you want to so many times. Monty, thanks for your open door policy, it's been awesome. And Dana, thank you for everything too. Thank you for the constituents for trusting me enough to make decisions on their behalf. I'm still questionable on that one, but I do want to thank them so much, guys, and I appreciate everything, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job you do.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody for everything that you guys do. You guys put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to make sure everything is going well. And I didn't get to spend a whole term, I guess, with you guys. It was only a few months, but I was glad to be back and see everybody. And but I've heard a lot of other communities, like Larry said, that have a lot more struggles than we do, and it's been a blessing. And Friday night at the Christmas party, Dale celebrated 35 years with the city, Monty's 20 years, so we got some amazing people around here, and I hope everything keeps moving forward. And
Well, and I'd like to say thank you to the city for the Christmas party. It was very nice.
Fun?
It was a good time. I didn't win anything, but...
You had fun trying.
Yeah. Did you win anything?
I fast.
Well, I want to say thank you for the Christmas party as well. The party committee did an amazing job. But I want to say thank you, Larry. Larry's been our mayor pro tem, and he was very, very... I couldn't have asked for a better mayor pro tem. He went above and beyond, so I just really appreciate you. And you'll be missed. I'm really sad that you're not going to be here, and thank you, Scott, for for the time you put on, and best of luck to you.
thank you.
So, thanks for giving me a run for my money. But yeah, it's been a good 4 years. So looking forward to the next one. Yeah. And so if nobody has anything else, I would look for a motion to go into our executive session.
Seems like I usually read these, so. I move we go into executive session pursuant to Title 24, Article 6, Section 402, at subsection 4F for personnel matters. The matter to be discussed is the performance of the city administrator.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Clint-Cameron?
Yes.
Counselor Scalise?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right. Yes.
What do we do? Do we need this? Do we need this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys will be at the first meeting in January.
I
Thank you, buddy.
won't.
Appreciate
No,
it.
I won't
Thank
be,
you.
man. Thanks, Irving.
See you later.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate
See you
it.
later.
See you, Rob.
We'll be here in January, right?
Yeah, I'll be here for that.
Oh.
I wish.
All right. So as we come back into regular session, we have our announcement from Dan Crop.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Dan Cobb, the city attorney. I'll note for the record the time is now 7:30. We're joining from an executive session. I was present throughout. The scope of the discussions were within the scope of the statute, and as the city attorney, the attorney-client privilege attaches. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, with that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
We get sure.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thanks Larry and Scott. I really appreciate working with you guys. You guys have been great.
Same here, Dano.
Thank
If I
you.
can ever help you, reach out. Don't hesitate.
Is that a free legal thing? Is that like
It's a coupon.
a coupon?
I might need some comedy tickets or something.
All right.